Hey everybody, and welcome back to Felsbrunn Revisited. I wasn't going to start the video this particular way. I had planned out a start to the video, and then I was just grinding some contracts, trying to get 100 grand. Check the prices screen, and boom! Soybeans, 1,080 bucks. Over here at Port Southeast, or grain mill southeast. I was like, heck yeah, I got 26,000 liters, $26,000 sitting in my grain bin. Let's get that puppy sold. So here's your sign. $12,000 coming this way. Only need 80 grand more to buy my house. All right, let's go get second load. Basically, with our small trailer here, we have 2 full loads and a little fractional load. So I'm going to go ahead and get that other load sold. But I wanted to bring you back and basically have you come along for the journey, which will help explain where $26,000 came from with respect to our income. I am running a beet contract that should pay out another $10,000 to $13,000. It's going to be about $10,000 of actual contract income. And then, of course, we've got our beets, our extra beets that we'll get. Ran another canola contract. Got some good money off of that. So, yeah, we are doing it good. And when I bring you back, we'll have what would have been the start of this video. This video is brought to you by Stubborn Disciple Plays. Thank you for being a farm baron. Well, good morning, everybody. This is how I was planning to start this video. I found out that Field 30 has a haymaking contract. So there's been 2 baling contracts that have been on the board for quite some time, and I've just ignored them. Honestly, I've just completely ignored them because I really wasn't planning on doing the baling contracts. And then there was a comment that I talked about in a previous video about how they would buy Field 30 and make hay for the horses. And then put oats in Field 20, again, for the horses. And I really didn't plan to buy Field 30 because I don't need that much hay. We've demonstrated we don't need that much hay. We go through a few bales of hay every 10 game days. Easily, we could buy that hay for ourselves and basically take a little bit of money out of our profits for our horses to buy the food we need. Well, I just decided to take a closer look at the baling contracts, and Field 30's baling contract is actually to make hay bales. And it's going to pay out pretty darn good money. It's going to pay out over $4,000 after I borrow all of the machinery to do this. And I'm going to be able to keep whatever was left over as far as the hay bales go after the contract is done. And then I'll be able to use those for the horses. So we kind of get a triple benefit. It's a contract, so we're going to get some money. We need hay for our horses. We're going to be able to keep the extra hay for our horses. And the third benefit, which I haven't showed you yet, is that this is probably going to be contract number 100. So what all has been going on the farm? Well, we have harvested our big soybean field, and the price was still really good on soybeans, so I went ahead and sold all of those beans also. We right now have a hired helper that is reseeding that field. So if you look at the big mini map, you'll see he's almost done seeding that field, which is quite handy because this little Voltra that they gave me for the contract, it's not that powerful. And they gave me the big Merge Max windrower. That thing takes a fair bit of power. So yeah, I think we're going to swap out and use the case, our case, to do some of this contract, because you can see trying to get this mode is a pretty slow job. Going across the hillside is the wisest idea, but man, that is just a whole lot of turning around. But this won't take too terribly long. So yeah, a nice little benefit that I need to make hay bales. Let's take a look at the description of this contract. It says mow grass 30, then dry it with a tedder, bale it, and take the bales to the barn. So we're making hay bales. And I was a little worried, given the size of the field, that we would be given a round baler and be given the 3-point hitch transport stuff, which I'm not really a big fan of. But no, we got a big square baler. Again, another reason why we need to use the case. And we got a square bale trailer supplied to us, so we don't have to worry about using that nasty 3-point hitch and only being able to transport 4 bales at a time. So 1, we have the added benefit of a little different contract. 2, we're going to be able to make use of those hay bales, which is great. And earn a little bit of money while we're at it. Let's see what other contracts are on the board. So we've got some more fertilizing contracts, which we will pick up as soon as we are done here. A lot of fertilizing contracts, so that is really great. Field 3 is the classic bale it and wrap it, make silage bales. That's the one that doesn't really interest me that much, because I really don't have any use for silage bales. I have to say, one thing that I hope they bring to FS22 is a little more of a dynamic contract system with respect to the equipment that is offered. So, like on this game save, we don't have any mods. We have base game equipment and DLC. It would be nice. It would be nice if you have DLC. That DLC would be available for possible use as contract equipment. I mean, there are so many mowers and tedders and balers and all of the Anderson trailers that are included in paid DLC that would be great for mowing contracts. With various harvesters, that'd be great for harvesting contracts. So it'd be really nice to see the ability to have the contracts extended to where you had more equipment available to you. Even if it isn't modded stuff, but still, that would be even cooler. If the contract system basically looked at your activated mods and said, okay, for a field this size, I want a harvester of this size with a header of this size range, and then basically what's available to me, base game equipment, modded equipment, and, pick. And the system just randomly select something that would be appropriate for the given size field out of either the player's mod list, DLC list, or base game list. Let me know down in the comments what you think of that idea. I don't know how hard that would be to implement because, well, I'm not a game developer or a modder, but hey, I can come up with interesting ideas, can't I? So the Voltra here, it really wasn't the ideal piece of machinery for the butterfly mowers and the front mower, but it's the perfect machine for this big tedder. We're not having any issues whatsoever with our ability to climb the hill with this, and our seeder is done, so we're going to be able to grab that when it comes time to using the Merge Max, because honestly there's no way this little tractor is going to be able to use that big Merge Max climbing this incline, let alone the baler. Probably the only thing we're going to use this one for anymore is the bale trailer to pick all the bales up when we're all said and done. But this is getting the job done pretty good. Usually when I do mowing contracts, I will try to extend out what I'm mowing to maximize my grass, but it seemed like this field, or maybe mowing contracts, grass fields in general on Giants maps are very, very well defined. At least this one was. You can see as soon as we kind of got outside the field edge, it refused to mow. So I was like, I'm not going to bother with exploring outside the range. We'll just go ahead and mow the defined field and move on. You can see the machinery that they gave us here. We got the big Kuhn Merge Max, the big Kuhn Square Baler, and like I said, that little Voltra. She's good for some things, but this Merge Max and that big Square Baler, I don't think so. I don't think so. I don't think that's going to work at all. So let's set this to work mode left. That sounds right. And we're going to flip around and shove the other hay to the left again. So we're basically merging two Merge Max widths together in one massive windrow. We'll just punch out bales like crazy. See, as soon as we get to the edge, we get that reserved for contract field work. It's a big, massive windrow there. That's what we're going to do. We're going to keep merging those, but this thing is really cool. If you've never used it before, it's really expensive, but it's really versatile and fairly quick. So you can merge to the left, you can merge to the right, or you can merge to the middle. Merging to the middle is a bit more of a kind of a contemporary method. You could set it to merge to the left, and then when you get up on the other side of the field, you set it to merge to the right. So you get a bunch of windrows that are about that size. But what I like to do with this is merge either side, left or right, but then double back and merge the other whole side back onto the other windrow to really make some pretty big windrows and minimize the number of passes you got to make with the baler, which then minimizes the amount of driving up over the field you've got to do with the bale trailer. Yeah, those are some nice windrows, nice distance apart. And this piece of machinery came, you know, back in FS17 with the Coon DLC, which was the first DLC for Farm Sim 17. Like I said, it's the most expensive windrower out there, requires the most horsepower. I think for those facts, it gets used a lot less than maybe it should, giving its versatility. But it's a really cool design. It picks it up and then uses a belt to move the product to whatever side it needs to go to. Alrighty, so in total we got five big windrows, and these puppies are massive. I mean, look at this. The tractor is barely able to drive between them. And we are belching out bales like crazy. But it's going to make picking them up a whole lot easier. Those bales, just steady flow. Boom. Let's see, where are we on our contract? Satisfactoring. 20%. So pretty much, I guess at this point, we need to deliver the product really to get any more progress. Last windrow wasn't quite as big as all the others. As you can tell, we really didn't have a full width of the merge max on really either side. It'll be interesting to see how many bales we do get off of this field. And I'm hoping that those fertilizing contracts are still on the board, because hey, it would be really cool to get super close to 180 grand today. Be able to put down that farmhouse. And then I've been thinking the one last thing that I want to buy for the farm is going to be a hayloft, so that we can store loose hay and loose straw for the horses. At that point, we'll have everything we need to be a sustainable, little farm that can live within its own means. We've got a farmhouse, we've got a shed, we've got some basic equipment. And then at that point, more money means upgrading the equipment to a little larger equipment to make it easier to do our farm work in a timely manner. And there we go. So not super excited that we've got 3,300 liters of a bale sitting in the baler. That's 83% of a bale. Would be nice to be able to fully make use of that. It would be nice in FS22 if we had the ability to eject the bale that was partially full. I think I'm just going to go ahead and use the case for this. And what? This thing holds... Does this thing take 16 or 30 or 24? 16 or 24 bales. I really don't remember. And this was brought forward from FS17. There was some modded Arcusin bale stacks like this that were smaller. I really liked those. I'm not a giant fan of this vertical stacking because it makes getting the bales down rather difficult, because even a big telehandler often doesn't have the reach to get up there and grab the topmost row. So you kind of have to be a little creative with getting the stack down a little bit. But there were some modded ones in 17 that came out that had some particle effects on the pickup here, and were a little smaller in capacity, so that meant the stacks were not as tall. But yeah, when the Anderson stuff came out, that for me fit the bill perfectly because they were horizontal unloads and made it a whole lot easier for wheel loaders, telehandlers, skid steers, the whole 9 yards, to be able to make use of the bales. Because, you know, as you can see, this stack, it's going to be tall. It is full on up. So 8 bales tall. Let's see how many we got left. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 bales left. Still at 20%. So let's take this up to the barn and drop them off and see how much that percentage jumps. I don't expect... We're not going to finish the contract out with 16 bales. I would be happy. I would be personally happy if we had 3 bales left over for our own use. Because if I'm remembering right, we need 12,000 liters for 4 horses for 10 days. And that is exactly 3 bales. Looks like we need to weed our big field again before those weeds grow into the full stage weeds. Then we have to lease a sprayer. I'd rather not do that again. So what's on your wish list that hasn't been released yet, hasn't been talked about? What's on your wish list of FS22 features that you hope come that they just have not disclosed at this point? So I think the barn is up here. Unload. Now there's an Arcusin bale stack that's coming in FS22 that I am super excited about. It is a small bale stack, 80% transported. That's looking really good. So let's see here, 16 bales delivered 80%. So what would be 20% of 16? Well, half of 16 is 8. So if I deliver 8 up here, that's going to be 130%. So if I deliver 4 up here, that would be 25%. All right, 4, 8, 12, 16. Wow. All right, let's go grab 4 bales. Bring them up here and see if we're done, son. But back to the Arcusin bale stack that's been announced for FS22. Quite frankly, in my opinion, it deserves a fact sheet, but it's not going to get a fact sheet because it's already showing up in the equipment list on the Giants website. And I'm pretty sure I've talked about this before. Maybe not in this series, maybe in live streams, but I've talked about it before. There is a small bale stack. I believe it collects maybe 14 bales into a bundle. I've seen some videos of this thing working in real life. Basically, it collects 14 small squares and then wraps those small squares up in some twine into this semi bundle, right? And then you can bring a wheel loader or front loader up and pick up 14 bales at a time, and then take those to and put them on a flatbed, and then you can have obviously multiple bundles of 14 on a flatbed. And from the looks of it, it looks like it only uses a few twine strings to hold that bundle loosely together, to where once you kind of get to your final destination, you can unload them, and I would guess bust the bundle twine, and then boom, you've got 14 individual small squares again. So I'm really excited to see how that's going to work in the game. Let's see. Do I have really bad math, or are we going to have a whole lot of hay bales left over? The suspension. Drum roll, please. Contract finished. Outstanding. Oh, thank you. Oh, you're so kind. You're so kind. You absolutely blow my mind. Come on, hold up. So we've got a lot of bales left over. We've got 9 bales that we can keep. 9 bales would hold us for 30 game days. Wowzers. We're not going to need nearly that many bales. But at any rate, we're just going to collect them all and bring them down to the farm. And that'll be the last hay that we will ever need to buy for the horses. Because after this video, there's going to be only 5 more videos to go in this series before we shelve FS19 for Farming Simulator 22. So guys, this is going to be just a nice little short video. Hope you all have enjoyed the video. Let me know in the comments, what do you think of our series? What features are you hoping come to Farm Sim 22 that are unannounced? There's always going to be features that come that just don't get mentioned ever in a blog post. What are some of the features you're hoping are the surprise features coming with FS22 that we won't know until we all have access to the game? And until next time, happy farming.